superheroes of the faith. Last week, Ashley shared with us the importance of prayer and worshiping God and Jesus in the Eucharist as often as we can, and how this can make us superheroes. This week, we're going to be talking about the ways that we can be open to the Holy Spirit and create places for Him to superpower us and make us superheroes. So let's hear from some of our friends here at St. Matthew about what superpower they would like to have and why.
I would want invisibility because then I can sneak up on people and scare them.
I would want to be invisible so that way nobody could find me, just hide from everyone.
Well, I would love to be able to read people's minds, that I would be able to know what they really think and how I could better help them.
I would want to read people's minds.
It would be a fly because I want to see something up high, and I would be a hydrokinetic, which is someone who can control and someone who something that you feel kneel down and grab it by your hand.
I would be able to teleport anywhere, but bring my family with me, so we could go on vacation.
Superpower? I'd just like to be able to tell my kids and they'd listen.
Oh, sign me up for that one.
He's
What
talking
about you?
about me.
I'd like to go back in time a little
Oh,
bit.
me too.
So my favorite superhero is Captain America, and this is why. Because he is a man of great courage, and he is always about offering himself for the good of others. He is not afraid of putting his own life at risk if he knows that it can benefit others, and that is one of the reasons why I love him so much. And I also think he's a great example of how God's grace can infuse our human virtue and make it a superpower. At the beginning of the film, he goes to the movie theater, and there's a big guy making fun of people who are on the screen who are fighting World War II, and he cannot handle it. So he actually ends up in a fist fight with this guy that's much bigger than him, but he can't win because he's so small. So eventually his courage comes to the notice of a doctor, and he is entered into this program where they're considering people to receive this super serum to make him into a super soldier. So this super serum powers him up, and his human body becomes equal to this great courage that he has. And this enables him to put his whole self to the service of others and to enter the battle. In the Old Testament, we hear about David, who is a youngest son, a shepherd boy, and most importantly, a man after God's own heart. But what does this actually mean? Well, we know that God is love, and that love always desires the very best for others. And so when we say that David is a man after God's heart, we're saying that David desires what God desires. And David also trusts that God is with him. He trusts even when his life is at risk. The Israelites, David's people, were in battle with a neighboring tribe, the Philistines. Among the Philistines was a giant of a man named Goliath. All the other Israelite soldiers were afraid to go to battle with Goliath because he was so much bigger than any other man. But David trusted that God was with him, and with just a few smooth rocks and his slingshot, he went to battle. And so through David, Goliath and the Philistines were defeated, and Israel was victorious. In the Catholic Church, God has given us two sacraments of service. These are the sacraments of matrimony and holy orders. In matrimony, a man and a woman make a lifelong vow to help one another and their children to heaven. Think about all the ways moms and dads serve. They buy food and clothes. They help us learn, pray with us, and help us when we're scared or hurt. Are there other special things that your mom and dad do? And in holy orders, God pours His grace out into deacons, priests, and bishops as they serve the church. Because men answer this call to preach and live the gospel, we have the opportunity to receive the sacraments of reconciliation and the Eucharist. They pray with us and anoint us when we're sick. Can you think of other ways the deacons and priests at St. Matthew serve? God knows that sharing our lives and serving the church and marriage and holy orders has many challenges, so He provides for us through the grace of these sacraments, enabling us to do that which seems impossible, but with His grace is made possible. Our holy hero this week is servant of God Julia Greeley. Through her, we have a beautiful example of someone who, even though she suffered immense hardship, loved Jesus' sacred heart, and because of her love of God, loved people. Julia was more concerned for others, that they have enough food and clothing, and that she would sometimes go without for herself. So let's keep receiving the super serum of God's grace. Just like when we open ourselves up to God's grace, it superpowers us and we become Jesus in the world.